同學，今次我們將會學習 Reading Skills Part 7 Concept Reading Skills Part 7。在這一課中，我們談論讀取形象化的語言題目 Figurative Language. Figurative language can be found in everyday English. It is a writing technique by which a writer uses comparisons in their descriptions so that readers can get a better idea of what the writer is describing. Figurative writing creates a figure, that is a picture, in the reader's mind, giving a more vivid impression of the specific thing being described. Also, by using figurative language, the writer can express a personal attitude towards what is being described. A negative or positive feeling can be felt by the reader, depending on the figurative language used by the writer and the picture the reader receives when reading the verse. Task 1. Look at the simple uses of figurative language below. Think about what is being described and what is being compared to. Do you think it is a positive comparison or negative comparison? Write P for positive comparison and N for negative comparison in the boxes provided. I will decide what feeling you get from the comparisons. The meal is rubbish. N. Negative comparison. Advertisements force the idea of losing weight into people's mind. N. Negative comparison. You are very slim. In fact, you are as light as a feather. P. Positive comparison. Look at that man. He is eating like a pig. N. Negative comparison. There are three common forms of figurative language that a writer may use to make comparisons and to build a picture in the reader's mind. They are simile, metaphor, and personification. A simile is a direct comparison between two unlike things. A simile must use the word like or the phrase as with a noun. For example, Fat Sam's belly is as round as a tire. Why did the writer say Fat Sam's belly is as round as a tire? We are comparing Fat Sam's belly with a tire because both are round. It suggests that Fat Sam is quite fat. For example, Jack eats like a bird. What is meant by eating like a bird? We are comparing Jack's eating habits with a bird's. It suggests that it eats very little food. A metaphor is an indirect comparison between two unlike things. However, unlike a simile, it doesn't use the word like or the phrase as. Rather, a metaphor states that something is something else. For example, dieting is a nightmare. What is meant by dieting is a nightmare. Dieting is compared to a nightmare because the writer believes both are terrible experiences. For example, that chocolate cake was a slice of heaven. The chocolate cake was so delicious that it's being compared to heaven. By using the phrase a slice of heaven, the writer is strengthening the comparison, because cakes often come in slices. Personification is when human characteristic, an action or feeling that is human, is given to something non-human, like an animal, an object, or a concept. I could hear the ice cream calling out my name, so I had to eat it. Ice cream cannot call out anything. It suggests that the ice cream was tempting the writer to eat it. The apple trembled with fear as I bit into its juicy flesh. Apples cannot tremble or feel afraid. The writer uses personification to suggest that this particular apple is afraid of being eaten. It is strengthened by the use of flesh, which usually means the body of a person or animal, either of which is capable of fear. Task 1. Distinguishing similes, metaphors, and personification. Examine the following statements. Decide which kind of figurative language is used for each statement. Underline the part where the figurative language is fine and write simile, metaphor, or personification in the blanks provided. Question 1. Obesity is like a time bomb just waiting to get off. Simile. Question 2. Since we began to diet, Betty has become as thin as a reed. Simile. Question 3. Betty is a reed now that she has completed her diet. Metaphor. Question 4. The sun was as bright as a smiling face. Simile. Question 5. The sun is smiling. Personification. Question 6. Obesity is the time bomb in many developed countries. Metaphor. Question 7. Advertisements promoting slimness as beauty have invaded people's minds with an unhealthy message. Personification. Question 8. Advertisements promoting slimness as beauty are like invading army taking over people's minds with a healthy message. Simile. Question 9. The Phillips cup is too expensive, yet eating up all my savings. Personification. Question 10. That Phillips cup is a money-hungry monster. It is far too expensive. Metaphor. Task 2. Below your story about Catherine, try to identify and underline the sentences with figurative language. Mark S for simile, M for metaphor, and P for personification about each underlined word or phrase. There are 2 examples figurative language in each paragraph. Then answer the questions which follow the passage. Paragraph 1. Catherine was a typical working mom. She was always a species of bee. She did not have the time and energy to eat well or to exercise. She was also under a lot of pressure to quit smoking and looked like an elephant. Remember, she weighed 220 pounds and her legs hurt as a result. Being overweight affected not only her appearance, but also her health. Over the years, she had made several half-hearted attempts to lose weight, but all had failed. As busy as a bee, it is a simile. Look like an elephant, it is a simile. Paragraph 2. Then one day in March 3 years ago, when the lift to her office was out of order, Catherine had to walk up 12th floor to her office. The effort of walking those unforgiving 12 flights of steps caused her to feel exhausted and breathless. Walking up those stairs was like hell to me at that time, Catherine recalled. She cried on her way home and decided that she had to do something to improve her health, or else she would never see her kids grow up. Unforgiving, it is personification. Like hell, it is simile. Paragraph 3. To declare war against her enemy, fat, she made a few small changes to her eating habits. She kicked up the giant-sized cheeseburger and fries for lunch and placed them with a small burger and a salad. The change was subtle, but she actually felt more energetic. Then she did a little more to overcome her weight by giving up the cappuccino she loved and drinking herbal tea instead. After a few months, she noticed that her clothes had become a little looser, and she had to buy a belt to hold up her pants. Enemy, it is personification. Giant size, it is personification. Now, do the exercise to test yourself by exercise. Continue reading the story about Catherine. Try to identify and underline the sentences with figurative language. Mark S for simile, M for metaphor, and P for personification about each underlined word or phrase. There are 2 examples of figurative language in each paragraph. Then answer the questions which follow the passage. Answer key to the exercise.